Hey, Paul. Scott Austin here from Jade Puma. Um, Looking at your store, going to give you some feedback, and I'm sure it's going to go in a lot of different directions. It's kind of an organic thing. In my head right now, I have two things I want to talk about, right? But I know that I'm going to do more than that as I start talking here. So bear with me as it might ramble and go off on tangents. And a little disclaimer up front: I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to word things. I just don't know how to do that. I'm just kind of a blunt person. And my only goal here is to make your store better. So I'll point out a couple things that I think are nicely done, but mostly it's going to be about here's the way I think we can improve this, here's the way we can improve this, here's the way we can improve this. So it's going to be very, very critical, which is what you signed up for. So hopefully you enjoy this. So the two big buckets I'm going to put things in, right, is the first one is your brand, and the other one is discoverability of your products, right? So what I'm going to assume right now is that you have good products at a good price, right? So let's talk first about brand because I think brand is really important. And to start talking about brand, let's just go to your about page, right? Because you even say it. I already read some of your stuff. I've been looking at your site before I started recording just to know a little bit, right? And how do you know who to trust? By the way, I'm annoyed by your. I assume it's your theme is doing it that I can't highlight anything. I can't right click. That's just annoying to me. That's a personal thing, though. Right? But right now, the reason I'm pointing that out is I can't highlight the text that I want to highlight because the theme doesn't allow me to do that. But right here, right, we have how do you know who to trust? So I think your big value prop is, hey, you love your pets. You want to, buy products from your pets that you can trust. And how do you buy products you can trust? Well, you buy them from trusted sources, right? Don't go on Alibaba and buy that cheap crap that you don't know where it comes from, that's, got plastic that's toxic, all that kind of stuff, right? To me, that's your message. You know, Treat your pets the way that you love them or something to that effect, right? So let's actually look on your homepage. What is your top line? The Better Pets Today difference. Low prices, brand names, free shipping. That's lacking quite a bit. So what's missing in that is the why, right? Why do you want lower prices, brand names, and free shipping? And the why is because you love your pets, right? And you want your pets to live their best life, right? So this is very tactical. Take it back a couple steps. Like I said, and I'm just spitballing things out there. You don't have to use anything, that I say as the line. But what I do love on the homepage banner, right? I love this being a "You Are Here" sign, and it basically says, "This is who we are. This is what we sell. This is who we sell it to, and this is why we're different or why you should buy from us." And that was more words than you should use, right? You should use 6 to 8 words here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're allowed 3 more, right? And it's really hard to do to come up with a really concise value prop on what it is you do. Let me give you an example of a store where they did a pretty good job, I think. Right? So these guys sell board games on Kickstarter. So they buy Kickstarter board games. So by the time they're selling them in their store, that game is no longer available because it's the Kickstarter version. There's only one of them, right? You can't they don't do reprints. They only do one run. So your second chance at Kickstarter games, trusted quality and service since 2013. And this is how many Kickstarters they backed, kind of thing. So they're really trying to evoke. We've been around the longest. We're total gaming geeks. If you love Kickstarter backed games, this is the place to come and get them. Right. Another example might be, let's just try authentic. Own a unique piece of history. So these posters, and some of them are really expensive, like $3,000. They're actual, they're not reprints. They're the actual poster from 1930, from 1950, kind of thing. So own a unique piece of history. 100% original, no modern reproduction. So this is doing a good job of a "You Are Here" sign, right? Let's go back to yours. You are here. I got a pet photo, right? There's no need for this extra margin up here. And this image is bigger than my screen. I have to scroll to see it all, and I still can't even see it all. And by the way, I'm not a fan of docking our menus. It just takes up too much valuable screen real estate. But what I'm talking about here is this message, right? The Better Pets Today difference. Well, this line, the Better Pets Today difference, should be your value prop, your differentiator, the reason that people should stay on this store. So they land on this page. Why should they stay here? You know, buy products so that you're, let your pets live their best life is the one I can think of off the top of my head, right? Because I'm trying to think of love your pets by, giving them loving products. It's just too wishy-washy. But, let your pets live their best life kind of thing. So that would be the biggest thing. And then underneath that, you'd have things. Now, low prices actually doesn't evoke trust to me, right? Brand names, free shipping. So these pillars are too basic in my mind, right? So let's go back. I started this whole conversation. I told you I would, ramble on and go off on tangents. I started this on your About page, right? How do you know who to trust? Now, there's a couple things here I like in your story about who to trust. First of all, awesome point number one, family-owned store. Love that. Based in a small town in Ohio. Love that. Those are awesome. Let me show you. Let's just go to Spiral. And go here. And let's go to there. So these guys are in Minnesota, I believe. And this is the owner of the store. And he started it with one of his daughters, I think this one. And so this is, meet the Nelsons, right? So this is the Nelson family, right? And they tell their story, how they got started making candles just for fun. And notice in every photo here, right, it's dad and the daughters and the wife. It's the whole family, right? And they tell their story. So this, right, this says family-owned, small-town Midwest, right? Good American people you want to buy from. This does not, right? And you're trying to say it. Don't get me wrong. You have the same message, but the way you're delivering it isn't effective because, A, it's 3 paragraphs down, right? The most important things, family-owned from America. Those should be up the top. And you're doing it in text, and no one reads. No one reads, ever, right? And don't get me wrong, like 1%, 5% of your population reads. But what you have to do is you have to make it skimmable. And even here, we should have had heading text that summarized what it was. But you have to have images or videos and infographics and that kind of stuff that support what you're talking about. Let's just go to Authentic and see what their About page looks like. Our story. So meet Vin, right? So we're showing pictures of the human beings at the company. If you're going to say you're a family-owned business in Ohio, you have to show photos of yourself, right? And, one of the least good-looking people I know is me, right? But you got to do it, right? So here I am, and don't take any offense there, Paul. I've not seen a photo of you. I'm not saying you're ugly, right? But here I am, right? I'm showing photos of me because that makes this a little bit more authentic, right? So once again, this isn't a family-owned business, but Vin is showing the 3 employees at the company and tell a little bit of history about each of them, right? They're making it that personal story kind of thing. So what you want to be doing is you want to be establishing trust, right? And that, so that because you even say it right here, trust. But the way you're establishing trust is not effective, right? And I would also say stop talking about all the things you're not and all the things you're not doing, right? You say, oh, we're not a big store, and hey, we just can't give 20% off like our competitors on every. Don't talk about all the stuff you're not. Talk about all the stuff that you are, right? And I'm gonna guess, right? You are family owned. You're in Ohio. I'm not guessing that. You also are really passionate about pets, right? So one of the things I tell my clients is, whenever I see an About page, I'm trying to think of the one here. Whenever I see an About page, I want to see babies and animals, preferably dogs, right? So this client of mine took me very seriously. And here we have a baby. Here we have her almost adult babies. Here we have an animal. Here we have a dog. And here we have a dog, right? These people seem way more human, friendly, good. Like I want to buy from them, except for Jared, which is kind of funny. He's the owner, but that's just Jared's personality right there, never smiling. Um, but on yours, what I would expect to see, right, is each of the people at the company with their pets, right? Like, here's Chewy. He's on my lap at all times, right? He lives on my lap. He's right there. And over here, this is Fizzgig. He's on the chair next to me at all times, right? So, I assume you guys are pet owners, pet lovers, right? So part of the reason we should trust you is because you guys are the kind of people that, love their animals. So then the next thing is you're probably curating your products. Like we test all of our products out, on our own pets and our friends' pets, whatever. Are you putting your stamp of approval on all the products in your store, right? So I would see an About Us being a family photo, showing, however long you guys have been around, whenever you started. If you started in 2005, you should say that. If you started in 2023, maybe not say that. But if you've been around for more than a year, you should say how long you've been around, right? Like here I talk about, the first website I ever built, which is in 1994 kind of thing, right? And that just helps me give me my street cred, right? You should listen to me because I've been doing online shopping since 2005, right? I've been doing Shopify since 2014, right? So putting those dates down there helps people know that, you've been doing, if you've been doing this for 10 years, there's a likelihood you're going to be doing it for 10 more years, right? That's why, so if you've been doing this for more than 5 years, you should definitely put that year down. If you've been doing it for a year, then maybe not. But what you want to be doing here is introducing the human beings, right? So instead of saying Paul at the end, you should start off with, hi, I'm Paul, right? And me and my family, and show a photo of the family, we have pets, and show your whole menagerie of pets, right? And, the problem we found was, there's a lot of products out there, but how do you know which ones to buy? Which ones are quality? Which ones are safe? Which ones will, make the pets' lives better? So we decided to start doing this ourselves, right? Sort of like the Tom's Guide, if you know what Tom's Guide is, for pets, right? That's the message I would be putting out there. And I would even talk about the process, right? So the process we go through to make a product. Now I'm going to show you my latest podcast episode, which comes out today is Tuesday. It comes out tonight at 1 a.m. Is this episode here of the telling your brand. This is basically an example of 10 good about pages, right? And the one I want to show you, I think it was Asphalt. So what these guys say is, hey, we make men's clothing, but what we realize is most clothing gets thrown away really quickly. It's disposable. We want to make quality clothing. Not a lot of clothing, just quality clothing. And here's our whole process, right? And they have a video that shows you through it. And then they walk through, and there's a photo of the human beings, right? And then they go through the whole process. This is what we do. We ask questions on what people want. We figure out how we're going to make it. We source the right products, yada, yada, yada. So they walk through the whole process. So you might have a whole process of how you determine what products to include in your store, right? So I'm doing this conversation at the About Us level, but it's about your whole store level, right? You need to be clear on why people should be buying from you. And the one clear thing you have is low prices, brand names, free shipping. Free shipping is good. Low prices in your About page, you say that your customers, your competitors are lower than you are. You say that in your About page, right? So there's a disconnect there. And then brand names. Well, these may be brand names to you, but I doubt they're brand names to everybody, right? So let me show you what I mean by that. Yeah, Aberdoggy and Fetch. I've never heard of them, and don't get me wrong, I'm not buying stuff every day for my animals, but to me those aren't brand names, right? So now Advantage I've heard of before, right? I'm just looking through these. Just trying to see if there's Arbor. Yeah, so my Uber point of these probably aren't the brand names that everybody's going to know kind of thing. It's not just brand names. I think it's the uber point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to say these aren't brand names. What I'm trying to say is I think your differentiator is the curated catalog, right? PetSmart sells every type of dog food in the world. Not that you're selling dog food, right? But when I walk into the dog food aisle at PetSmart, it's 2 aisles. There's not even one. There's 2 of them, right? And the way I get to the dog food I've used for my Chihuahuas, that I've had Chihuahuas now for I don't know 15, 20 years. There's 5 of them in the room with me right now, and I use the same dog food, and it's the only one that's made for Chihuahuas, right? It's Royal Canin, and it says Chihuahua. It's got a picture of the Chihuahua on the front. That's how I was confident I was picking the right one, right? Because there's so many choices, and that's the hard part. Is in the world of pets, there's so many choices. So what you guys are doing is sifting through all the crap and getting rid of it and giving a curated catalog, right? That's my guess at the way you want to pitch this. So now we're talking about brand, right? I would be clear on what your differentiators are, right? So this line here should say, why people should buy from you. And it should be something like, helping, let your pets live their best life. And then your differentiators, which is, tested products or, we put our stamp of approval on every product that we sell, or something of that mantra, I think is what you're going for. And then, the free shipping, that's an important one, but we put that in a different place, right? We don't have to put that right there. And then I would also, here we are saying, we're the best, here's all the great things about us, and then, go see our clearance crap, right? I wouldn't put a call to action there. I would just leave it as, here's our message to everybody, right? As you saw, right, I think these guys didn't have a link on theirs. Yeah, it's just the message. Same thing on the Game Steward one, just the message. I don't know what these guys are doing on their homepage. Yep, just the message kind of thing, the You Are Here sign. All right, so next thing about your brand is, let's talk about your name. Better Pets Today, right? Are you Better Pets Today or BetterPetsToday.com? What's your company's or your brand's name, right? And if I remember correctly, you're not even consistent in that. What's important in brands are consistency, right? So somewhere I saw, and if I see it again, I'll point it out. But there was a page I was on, and it was saying Better Pets Today, and then Better Pets Today with no spaces.com, right? Decide what your brand's name is, and always use exactly that, right? In one way, right? So like here, BetterPetsToday.com. Is it BetterPetsToday.com or is it Better Space Pets Space kind of thing? Because up here it's Better Pets Today, right? That's a different name than down here. So that defining those things, your differentiator, your value props, your mission, all those kind of marketing 101, get an MBA type stuff. They're actually really useful. It's actually I'm building a course right now. My first course that I'm building is how to build a brand for your Shopify store because I think it's so important. So now let's take that idea of our brand is important, right? Because what you want to be saying is, hey, the Better Pets Today brand is awesome because it's Paul and his family in Ohio. They curate all their products, so I have confidence I'm buying the best ones. They got free shipping. Their customer support is great. Anytime I have a question, they always answer. All that good stuff. So, what does that brand look like to you, right? So let's just look at best pet beds. 6 best dog beds of 2023. So let's just go to this one, see if I can see a page. All right. Amazon. I don't want to see Amazon. Yeah, so this is a Shopify store. All right, so Canine Ballistics. There's some things about that I don't like that I'm not going to get into. But what I'm looking at here is this brand, right? It has a blue and yellow, sort of like the Blue Angels, right? A blue and yellow is a common color scheme. And you also notice the surfboard is yellow, matching the brand coloring. That is really well done. This looks like a brand. When I land here, I can see they put time and energy into defining their brand because of the colors, the logo treatment, the canine, the dog thing and the ballistics. I don't know what the ballistics is for, but, they probably explain it somewhere. Or maybe it's their carbon fiber beds or something. Oh, chew proof. Okay. So let's look at another one. Amazon, Orvis, Amazon. So only one of them was a Shopify store. Let's go to this one. Now Chewy's on my lap, whining. He's trying to get my attention. He's training me to give him attention all the time. We probably won't find too many direct like canine. So let's just leave that as it is for now. I don't want to spend all my time here hunting for crap that I can't find for you. But just, the point being, this feels like someone developed a brand, right? I go back to here. Let's go to your homepage and see it. I don't get that, right? So I've got this teal color going on here, 2 shades of it, which is good. A third shade up here. But my logo has no color in it at all. Not that you have to have color, but there's no color in it. So there's not a continuity there, right? And then why the teal and purple? I don't know if those, are your brand colors. It looks like they are. But in all of that, I don't, there's no color in the logo at all to tie that together. Like I said, it doesn't have to be, but there isn't, right? And then also, this logo is really small. And I don't know what that's going to... See, I can't look at this on the phone. I can't right-click on this site, and which, like I said, annoys me. So I'm just going to look at it on the phone right now. I want to see how that logo looks. I'm going to even put on my glasses, which I need a lot these days. But I'm going to go to Better Pets Today. Chewy down. Maybe he was thirsty. All right, so I'm bringing up your logo. Yeah. So, you know what it looks like on mobile. It's really small. I can read it. But a better layout of that would be the Better Pets Today text beside the dog and the cat. So it's a little more horizontal. So here... because you got a lot of wasted space on the left and right here, and even on mobile, it would work better laid out differently. And then your font, there's no life to it at all, right? There's nothing with personality in it. Not that you have to change the font, but here's what I'm trying to say is your logo looks like someone created it in PowerPoint in 10 minutes or less with clip art. Now, that may or may not be true. Like I said, don't take offense if I'm wrong, but... it doesn't look like a lot of time was spent on your logo. Let me show you my logo. Right here. Now, the first logo I had for my website was literally clip art. I found a cougar, puma, face just like this that was clip art, and I put green over the top of it with an overlay. But that was, when my brand was just getting started. And then later on, I actually, and you can see I've got this, stylized font in here. Try to give a little feel of elegance kind of thing. And the thin line art in here. So, this took a little bit of time. It cost me $100 to get this made. But this, looks a little more polished to me than this does, right? And I literally, sent this off to a guy for $100, and, he made the line drawing. We revved on it a couple times. And then, we were done with it kind of thing. But your brand doesn't look high quality. Like, I just want to go back to this one because these guys are just doing a fabulous job on it, right? Kind of thing. Just look, you scroll down, right? You feel like it's one site and it's consistent, yada, yada, yada kind of thing. And then you're not going to get to that destination in one step. It's going to take time. Like I said, with my logo, it was crap clip art when I started. And then as I made a little money, I paid someone to make a little better logo for me. And so you keep iterating on it. But trust is your value prop on your about page. This is what I'm getting all back to. I'm still on your about page. Is trust, and there's things with your brand that don't invoke as much trust as they could if a little more time was spent on that. So that's what I'm going to talk about for brand for now. And I'm going to move off of that and move on to finding products. We'll probably get back to brand a couple times. So I want to start at the bottom of the funnel because too many people start at the homepage and critique the homepage. But what's important, let's just go here to one of your products. Your product page is your most important page, right? Having this laid out well is super important. So I'm literally just going to get out on the whole page a step at a time, right? So here, breadcrumbs, they're a best practice. I'm not a fan of them, especially on mobile. They just take up too much space. They're really useful on Amazon where they have like 5 different levels of collections where you could see that you were on, beds, it would say, dogs, beds, steps, 3-step, whatever kind of stuff. In Shopify, where everything's just one level, they're really not as useful. I take them off a lot, but either way is totally fine. Now, one thing I noticed is you've got U.S. pricing here, which is nice, right? But you say you're in Ohio, but here I go to Canada, and the prices are round. So I think you're setting your prices in Canadian, and they're getting converted to American. Now, that may be wrong, but this just makes me think you're not an American company, right? And that goes back to that trust thing, right? So if you were in Ohio selling to Americans, the pricing is going to be the easiest and roundest for Americans. Well, why is it not? And it is for Canadians. So that's just a trust thing, right? The fact that this is 7632, not a big deal, but the fact that I did that and saw that, that makes me feel weird. Type dog. Well, first of all, this isn't a dog that we're selling. It's a dog step. So our taxonomy is a little weak. Taxonomy is how we classify products with things like product type and tags and that kind of stuff to create collections. But if I click on this link, it takes me to this really, random set of things, right? So 2 things there. One is this is not product type equal dog. That's inaccurate. Not a big deal. The other one is there's really no need for this here, right? So if you set up a well-defined and well-structured site that is actually a funnel that moves people down conversion, you should have confidence when they get on the product page, they're on the right page, which means don't give them a way to escape clause to the collection, right, above it kind of thing. So I wouldn't show this product type here. I like the fact that that you're showing both buttons instead of a pull down. I like that a lot. Now, I don't like the fact that we're not changing photos based on that. And maybe your theme doesn't let you do that. I'm not sure which theme you're using. Once again, I can't right-click and look at your code. But it would be nice if I, clicked 3-step. I saw the 3-step one. If I clicked 4-step, I saw the 4-step one. I'm now curious what this looks like on the phone. I'm not a fan of this double scrolling thing, but that's just me. I want to see what that looks like on the phone, though. So let's go to dog steps and a cute little puppy there. All right, that it's actually better on the phone where it's one photo that scrolls sideways. That's nice. Now, if I change, so I don't know if you've set your variant level photos or not, right? If you haven't set variant level photos, you should. And Chewy just had some water. He's back in my lap. And what that looks like is, just go to SurCal. I was in that store a minute ago, so we'll go there. Just to give you an example, let's drop into a product really quickly. So here, right, we have the photo set at the variant level. Let's see if I can find one that has multiple colors. No, it's blankets that does. show you what this looks like when we get the right one. All right, I'm gonna have to find it another way. All right, I'm not going to show that to you now. I don't want to waste all my time logging into things. But if your theme allows you to set, oh, wait, I can do it here maybe. Blankets. Yeah, so this one here. So I'm going to go into this product. So you see how when I select each one, the product photo changes. That's a nicer. So if your theme allows you to do that, so what you want to do is make sure in your products that you've set your variant level photo, which is, it showed you that was down here, right? So this down here, that's your variant level photo. So if you click on edit, you can change your photo out to be any of the ones in the product. And then, so if your theme supports it, and you set it at the store level, the admin level, you'll be able to do that. And then that way, when people click on things, it goes to the right photo. It's just another feedback thing. Your quantity button, that's just way too big. I don't know if you can make that smaller. So wish list, when I click on this, great, it's added to the wish list. I got this thing that pops up over here. Takes me to my wish list. That's cool. All right, now how do I get back to my wish list? All right, and I don't know. I've done wish lists before, like in Authentic. All right, so we got this wish list right here. It's a link in the header that takes me to the wish list, and I can see the products that are in there, kind of thing. So first of all, is wish list important? And the way to figure that out is to look at the data in your app and see if people are actually, creating wish lists and what percentage your customers are and that kind of stuff. And if you think you should keep it, because my gut tells me get rid of it, but maybe it is being used by your customers and important. And if it is, then use it properly, right? And I don't know, maybe it's this link down here. Oh, there it is. It's underneath your chat, right? And if I can't get rid of the chat. What I want to see is the icon for that intuitive. Like, is it a heart or something? I don't know. I can't see what it is down here. But what you need to do is move one of these to the other side of the screen kind of thing. And then if we're on mobile, yeah, they're stacked on mobile also. Same problem. Okay. Now, what I don't like is I'm scrolling. Right now I want to scroll my text, and I can't scroll my text, so I go through all the photos. That's why I don't like this dual side thing, but that is what it is. You're not going to change themes tomorrow because of that. But now I look at this content here, and it's not aspirational at all. It's very functional, right? It tells me the specs, how I clean it, the sizes, the dimensions. It doesn't tell me how it's going to help my pet live their best life, right? And, I have 5 small Chihuahuas, right? Chewy's 4 pounds, Violet's 3.5, Fizz is 4 pounds. I own a couple sets of steps. I have them for my couch, I have them for my bed. I have them for the chair back there. So I get what these are for, but this doesn't explain to me why I should get, steps, right? For some people, it's because your dogs are just too small to jump. Some of it's they're getting old, right? You need to explain to people why they would want this thing. And today, I use ChatGPT for that all the time, right? I was literally working on ChatGPT. So I'll give you a real example. Show you what I was working on before I started doing this. Is Minnook chocolate doesn't have product descriptions. So this is what they have for a product description. Delicious marshmallow filling and pecans. So what I was just doing in ChatGPT today was I said, hey, ChatGPT, take the one line that they had, whatever it said before, and expand it a little bit. And it gave me this thing here. And then I'm going to hand this over to the store staff and have them edit it and make it true and authentic to their voice and tone and to their product. but you can use ChatGPT to help you create more compelling product descriptions. Now, I would always edit ChatGPT afterwards, but I find it's easier to edit than it is to author. So if I was you, I would use ChatGPT to help start building out a better product description. Share buttons I would get rid of. No one uses share buttons anymore. It's like a very dated thing. You may also I'm not a fan of this. So this goes back once again to you got to trust that people are on the right page. And if they are on the right page, why would you show other products, especially like ferret cages? It doesn't make sense. Now, the other dog one might make a little bit of sense, but I would not show You May Also Like in your store, right? Now, the recently viewed, I do like that a lot, right? That's probably better than a wish list. Having that functionality is totally awesome. So this product page, we didn't talk about your photos at all. Your photos are obviously from the manufacturer, not impressed by them. They're okay. They're okay. Now, is the K&H brand important? Do people know what that is? I doubt it, right? And if so, you might want to pull out the K&H brand from the photos and make this your photo, not their photo, right? And you might even get to the point where you edit these photos and just replace the orange color with your brand color, right? So there's a consistency, and it looks like, remember back to these guys, it looks like your brand, not a collection of other people's brands, right? Now, this is easy for these guys because I think they're making their own products, but that's the kind of small thing you could do here. Small, it's a bit of work, right? But you could take that orange text and convert it to one of your brand colors, and this would feel a lot more holistic and consistent. And remember, branding is all about consistency. Now, on our product name, K&H Pet Products, Pet Stair Steps with Storage, 2 sizes, gray, black, right? It's a really long product description or a product title. And, I would put the vendor, I would, add the vendor as a field, sort of like you have with the type thing here, instead of putting it in the title, because I doubt many people are searching for K&H Pet Products, See, it kills me. I can't right-click on this and just do things. I'm just going to open up another tab off another screen and type this in. So K and H Pet Products, Pet Stair Steps with storage, comma, 2 sizes, comma, gray, black. All right, so I'm doing a Google search for that product. All right, and let's see if you show up. You should, because it's an exact match, right? So there you are, Better Pets Today. So I did an exact match for your search query. So you're like, oh, I ranked 3rd. That's awesome, right? But no one searches for this search query, right? So let's get rid of this. And you're going to be farther down probably. And there you are down there. But I doubt people search for this, right? They probably search for this. So the reason you'd have such a convoluted or long, complex product title is for SEO purposes. Right? It's the only reason I would have one that long. But I doubt people are searching for that query, right? We do sometimes where we put in the, and see, I still haven't found you yet, where we put in like the SKU number or something like that, because people search by SKU and those things. And now FizzGig wants down. Everybody's thirsty today. So going back to this, right? So this doesn't kill me up here, right? Where it kills me is here. So on this page, what's the difference between this one and this one and this one? Well, they're all made by K&H, so that's redundant information, right? And, this, I have to spend too much time to think on this page, right? And we'll get back to the collection page in a minute, right? But your product title, while we're on the product page, I would make your product titles a little bit tighter, and not have it be everything, right? This is trying to be, the everything product type. We got the vendor, we got the product name, we got, all the different product options and that kind of stuff. And by the way, gray black is the coloring. It's gray and black, I see. So I think that's it for that product page. Let's just grab another product page randomly and see if there's anything different on that one. All right, so on your sold out product, and I purposely picked this one because it was sold out, what you should have is you should have Klaviyo for your email, and you should have a back in stock link here. So what that looks like is, so I've got a store, they're closed for the summer because you don't want to be making chocolate in the summer for these guys. So what we do right now is all their products are out of season. So if I click on that, I can notify me when available. This is a Klaviyo thing. They type in their email address, it gets dropped into Klaviyo, and then automatically when this storage staff goes in and changes the inventory to available, an email will automatically go out to this person saying, hey, whips are back in stock, go ahead and order now, kind of thing. So on your out-of-stock product, I would add that functionality so that people could get it. Other than that, this page looks very similar. Only one product photo. It's really blurry. Yeah, because you have a small quality photo, right? One of the things you'll want to do over time to differentiate is take your own product photography. I don't expect you to do that anytime soon, but that's a way to differentiate from your competition, right? Especially if we go let's just go and do a search for this one. It is PetMate Pet Cafe Feeder Pearl. PetMate Pet Cafe Feeder. All right, we're going to go to Google Shopping, and what you'll see is everybody's using the same photos, right? Except for this Amazon one here, right? So one of the ways you can differentiate is by having your own. Yeah, this is a great example. Same photo, same photo, same photo, or a slightly different angle, right? No personality, no life to it all. So one way you can stand out is here. Their own photography, kind of stuff. So, but I wouldn't expect you to do your own photography today. But I think over time you're going to want to have better quality photography, right? All right, so let's go up a level, and let's go to our collection page. So this is a simple one. There's not a lot here. So think of this page as a decision-making page. So. And what you want is customers making one decision per page, right? So on the home page, the decision I'm making is which one of these buckets do I want to be in? And I'll talk about that in a minute, right? On this page, the decision I'm making is which one of these do I want? Now, you could, right? You've got ramps. Oh, see, product type 0. Yeah, you need to clean up your product data. That is awful. So here, I think there's only 2 product types. Ramps, 1 and 2, and stairs, 1, 2, 3. So what I should see is ramps and stairs. And it should probably just be ramps and stairs. Because one is steps, one is stairs, one is dog. So it looks like your product types, there's no logic behind them. So I don't even know how you're making your collections. I would love to look at how your collections are defined, but we don't need to do that right now. But here, this filter is useless because it makes no sense, right? So defining your product types really well is super important on a page like this because the first, you want to be making one decision at a time, but that's not always possible. So on this page, I'm making 2 decisions. Do I want steps or stairs? And if I want steps, which one of the steps do I want, right? So we've got this tool here to help me steps or stairs, right? And then when it comes to, let's just say I do, steps, then which one of these 3 do I want? So now what you need to do with these 3 is let me know the differences between them. Now this one is a 4 stair. This is a 3. This one, you've got 4 stair and 3 stair in the same product. So why didn't you combine them in this product? So this product behaves differently than the way this product, because really what you have is 2 steps. You've got this one, and then you've got this one, right? This one has storage, this one doesn't. So imagine that, right? Imagine I go to a thing that says pet steps and ramps, and then I'm presented with a page that says, do you want steps or ramps? I say steps. You go, great. Do you want with storage or without storage? With. Boom, you're on this product page, right? That walked me through steps that I'm making, the decisions I'm making. And then on this page, I have one more decision to make. Do I want the 3-step or the 4-step? If I go back to this one, let's say I decide I want this one here, like, great, I get this one. And now I got a color of, choice of color, right? But now if I want the 3-step, because this one ends up being too tall, and see what we're not doing here, let's go back to the other one too. Boom. So why should I buy the 3-step? And I'm going back to the product page, right? This is probably information that would be really helpful. Let's see if you have it in here. And the question I'm asking myself, when do I buy the 3 and when do I buy the 4? Right? So here it doesn't tell me that. Here it doesn't tell me that. Here it doesn't tell me that. And I'm guessing that here's where it tells me that. Right? So they're both the same. I don't know if that's height, width, length, whatever. That's probably going to be width. So usually I think it's length, width, height is the way things go. So this is probably height, this last dimension, right? So really what's important is the 4-step is 22 inches high and the 3-step is 16 inches high. Let's see if you have, so what you really need in this product, and I'm not saying you're going to do this today, but what you really need is a comparison, right, of the heights side by side. So if you have a high bed, you need this. If you have a low bed, like a platform bed, you need this. This works for chairs and couches, right? You're not telling them, what you're telling them is, and it's very indirectly you're telling them that this is 16 inches high and this is 22 inches high, right? Well, if I have a 16.5 inch high one, well, what type of furniture does that work with? Well, that's couches, chair, and I'm guessing this, right? Couches, chairs, and platform beds. The 22 inches is for trucks or cars or high beds, right, kind of thing. Beds with a box spring and that kind of stuff, right? So you're not, the most important decision, the only decision they're making on this page is 3 or 4-step, and you're not helping them with that decision at all. So that's the kind of information that this needs, and that would be best done in an infographic, right? And that infographic would say, which one's best for me, and it would say, 3-step is 16.5 inches high, great for platform beds, couches, and chairs. 4-step is 22 inches high, great for normal beds with box springs and SUVs, or something to that effect, right? And I wouldn't bury that in text. I would make that an infographic. But the point we're making here, like I said, tangents, random. I'm jumping all over the place. Squirrel. So on this page, right, every page we want to be a decision, and as few decisions as possible, and clear, easy decisions to make. This page, we're making 2 decisions, right? Product type, we talked about how to fix that. And then the other one is with or without storage. Now, this is where the long descriptions here, the long product titles, they make the problem worse. Because now, right, so imagine these 2 products were combined, which they should be. I assume they come in the same colors. Yeah, looks like they do. And, consistency, right, the colors are in different orders on the 2 different ones for whatever reason. And on this one here, on your hover photo, I'd make your second photo the 4. And that way they could see there's a 3 and a 4. Same thing here. This would be the 3, and maybe you do the 4 in different color or something like that. But if you combine these 2 products, then when it comes to, I pick product type dog steps, or steps or stairs, whatever we're going to call it, I see with storage and without storage. And if you pull out the K&H Pet products off of it, the 2 sizes in gray, black, pull out the colors, 2 colors available, pull that all out, normal step stairs, deluxe stairs with storage or something like that. And that way it's easy to decide which one of these two that I want. Now on the ramps, this is a folding dog ramp. This is I don't know the differences between them. Maybe this one's longer. But what you have to figure out is why would I pick this one over that one and get that information onto this page. All right. So that's an easy collection page. Now let's look at these colors or size, 3-step. Yeah. So this is done. So right now for your filter app, you're using Shopify's filtering, which isn't that rich, right? And what you really need to ask yourself is, so I'm going to click on 3-step here. Only one product shows up, right? And that's because this filter is using product options. Well, this one is a 3-step, but it's hard-coded 3-step, right? It's not a product option. In other words, this filter is not helping you on this collection page, right? Because it's not every product conforms to this rule. Not every product that is 3-step conforms to this rule, right? Kind of thing. And same thing with color. Like, are these important decisions that people are looking at? For me, on this page, I think it's just product type. Now, you might also want to do some tagging stuff because filters are super important. When there's 5 products on a page, and there should only be 4 once we combine these two, filters aren't as important, but filters are hugely important when you get to bigger collections. Let's see if I can see a, collars, leashes, and harnesses, right? It's probably 596 products. Oh, my God. Right? So this one, filters are hugely important. And so there's 596. And yeah, so let's talk about this. So product type, cat collar as well. Didn't I click on dog? Yeah, collars, leashes, and so I click on dogs, I go to collars, leashes, and harnesses. Well, these cat collars, could you also use them for dogs, or is it just you put all collars into one collection, right? So yeah, I'm going to assume these are just cat collars, not dog collars. And you probably need to make a collection for dog collars, right? And because there's 596 products is why I'm saying this. You might have one for leash collars, one for leashes, and one for harnesses, right? Because if I search for harnesses now, yeah, so you got collars, animal print, collars, designer, croc, your whole tag. So one of the problems you have, right, is people finding what's right for them, and what's getting in the way of that is a poorly defined taxonomy and a poorly implemented taxonomy. All right, so taxonomy is deciding how we're going to classify our products and how we're going to combine our products and not combine our products. Like I talked about before, the dog steps. Sorry, I went off screen there. Fizz wants me to pick him up, but he's running away from me as I roll towards him. As we talked about with dog steps, one product has the steps, 3 and 4 as a product variant. The other has them as separate products. That's in defining your taxonomy. You decide what things are going to be done at the product level and what things are going to be done at the variant level, and then you do that consistently across your products, right? So, for example, here, I'm going to assume that the difference between this, and this is color, right? And this one here is this 2 rows of rhinestones or whatever. And now Chewy just came so I can reach him. He wants to be back in his little bed over here. So, if color is going to be something we define at the product level, within a product, the variant level, which I would recommend, right? Then all of a sudden, these 4 products become one product. And then you don't see 596 products, so you're making less choices. Because right now, if I pick this product, I'm picking 2 things. I'm picking the style of the product, the crystal thing with 2 rows, and I'm picking the color. I'm making 2 decisions, right? And I'm making 2 decisions, but on this page, there's hundreds of decisions I could be making, right? There's leashes, there's different, so your filters, right? So what you probably need is the Boost product and filter app. And I'll show you what that looks like. So the Shopify app is okay to start with, but there's no sophistication in it. It's great for stores with 5 products or in a collection, 5, 10 products. When you get 596, you want to up your game, right? And what that looks like is, let's go here to vintage posters, and each one of these posters, right? I have categories: movies, events, music, sale, food and drink. I have size. I have product type. I have product period, so how old the poster is. I have colors. I have price, origin, what country it came from, right? And what we did when we built this store is we came up with, I think, like 20 different things that we could classify them by. And we put them all up, and then we had different ways that you could shop. And then we saw what people use, because the app gives us information back. And we saw that, hey, we actually thought country would be really important. And we found out it wasn't. So it's at the bottom of the list. But people used it, but it wasn't as important as other things that went down the list. Things that people didn't use, we took off, like what material it was made from. Like, was it linen or paper or whatever? People don't do that when they're picking their art, right? So we ended up taking that off. It's still in the product description, but it's not a deciding factor on this page. So we shotgunned it. We threw spaghetti on the wall. What stuck, we kept. And we moved what was used the most, we moved up. And what was used less, we moved down. And that's how we defined what our taxonomy is going to be. And then we said, all right, for every product, we have to have a size. And we're going to define size in a tag. And the tag has to be specified this way, that, all this different structure, these definitions we put in place, so that when they got to a page with 355 products, we could filter it. Let's say, I want the big posters. Well, there's 63 of them. Well, I want to filter down some more. Maybe I want political posters, right? And now there's only one of those, and like, do I want that or not, kind of thing. But this gave us tools because there's consistency here, right? When you look at this, you don't see sizes of, 0 to 4, large, extra large, double XL spelled 3 different ways, right? That inconsistency is going to kill your findability on pages. So let's look at our size here, right? We got extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. Extra large, spelt a different way, right? Lack of consistency. 3/8, 8, you see all these different sizes? This is not helpful, right? I don't know if those are inches or whatever, but, 4 feet done a couple different ways. So that lack of consistency, right? So it comes back to taxonomy. What you need to do in a large catalog store like you have is define what your taxonomy is going to be. Like, we're going to use these, we're going to say these things in these ways every time consistently, so that this type of stuff doesn't happen, right? Because now, your size filter is useless. Because, I bet you do extra small with an X also somewhere and that kind of stuff. Let's medium, narrow, yeah. So, and then, doing two things at once. It's medium and it's narrow, right? Well, those are two different variables probably. So, and it's hard to do because you're aggregating so many products from so many different vendors, but that's the kind of value add that when you do that to your store, makes your store easier to shop than your competition, right? And therefore a better experience. And that's why your brand can be trusted, because you're going to spend the time and energy to make a good, consistent, clean, easy to understand shopping experience for your customers that helps them find the right product and have confidence in the product that they're purchasing. That's not there right now, right? And I could see, this is a great example of, I'm glad I fell onto this one, a great example of a page that's really hard to get it to work, right? Or a great example of why it's not working for you today, right? So your product, your collection pages are decision-making pages, or need to be decision-making pages, and you don't have decision-making tools in place at this time, or enough good decision-making tools, right? So right now what you have is a list of products, not a decision-making tool. And let me give you another example of that. So let's click on dogs. I'm clicking on dogs, and nothing is happening. Does it take me to the home page, or does nothing happen? I don't know why I went to the home page. So grooming, I can click on. It takes me to a page, and that's got 171 products. Dogs, I should be able to click on dogs. And what should happen when I click on dogs? It should take me to a list of collection pages, a decision-making page. And that list of collections should look just like this, right? So let me see if I have an example. Trying to think of one here off the top of my head where I've done that recently. Let's try. Oh, Ortho has it, I bet. So here, if I click on cold therapy, right, I get a. So instead of seeing a collection, I say, hey, do you want knee solutions, shoulder, hip, ankle, elbow, right? Decision-making page. And I'm making one decision. What body area do you want to work on right now? So for you, I would have, because this is really hard to read and compare and understand what everything is. So I would click on this, and don't get me wrong, people use this, that's great. But I would click on it, and then what it would show is a page with all those same items with the collection image, right? So in the car would show a car, not a product that goes in the car, but a car, right? Dog houses and crates would show the product, right? But you'd have a visual identifier that makes it easy for people to know what those things are, right? And then in this taxonomy, so in that level, you click on each one of these top level things, it takes you to a list of collections pages, which shows you the collections underneath that. Now, I clicked on grooming, and I would say that 171 products is too many, all right? Now, if we look at our product types, we have body wash, spray, shampoo, colognes, brushes. Yeah, so I see cleaning and grooming, right? So here, yeah, and then there's supplies and tools, all right? So I would think about what are the top 4 buckets, or whatever the right number is, that you could classify these products in. Right now I'm going to say cleaning supplies, like soap, shampoo. Maybe we should call it soap, shampoo. And then there's tools, brushes, clippers, that kind of stuff. And, maybe there's some other stuff after that. I don't know what this butter stuff is. But you can probably come up with a couple buckets those things fall into. So instead of showing 171 products on the top level of grooming, you show the 4 buckets. And one of those buckets can be see all, right? I don't know if we do that in Ortho here. If we go to, let's just go here to Kodiak. Yeah, we see all the Kodiaks. I know I've done a see all recently. I just can't think of one off. Oh, there we go, right there. See all. All right, so here, cold therapy, you can pick any one of these systems and all the different products under it, or you can just see all if you want to. So see all is a totally fine option, but don't start them at see all, right? Because now I've got 3 pages of products that I got to look through, and that's just way too many, right? So I got 171 products here, way too many. Give me, 4 or 5, whatever the right number of collections, sub-collections to this, there should be, and make this a list of collections page. And see all can be one of those. That takes me to all 171 products if they want to do that. Now, I'm going to assume you're going to have a filter and search app, the Boost filter and search app in here. Because, like I said, this is not useful right now. And one of the problems with this is, and this being the Shopify solution, which is better than nothing, but it limits you. So you can only, have product variant options, the option label and that kind of stuff. In the Boost one, there's all sorts of things you can do. Like you can use tags, but just tags that begin with this preface. So there's a lot of control that you can do in there. And I'll give you a real example of that. If we look at FLNB, these guys have like 30,000 products in their store. It's an absolutely massive problem that they have to deal with. And what we do here, so this is Boost Filter and Search. And we defined a taxonomy. We're very religious about it. We have tools that help them manage that taxonomy. But this is for design. The product, you have to tag it design_solid, design_lace, and then this app searches for anything with the design_preface and the tag, and uses that here. And you can see it does counts for everything. It's really nice. And we also have different filters by product type. So this is sheets and pillowcases, but if we go to table, we will see different filters. A lot of them are the same, but some of them are different, like season kind of thing, because the products are different. So if you do a good filter app, the Boost product and filter search is the one I use. I think it's called Boost AI now or something like that. If you do a good one, you can have different filters per product collect, category, grooming, dogs, snuggle bugs, and all that kind of stuff. Each one can be different, and that way it's more authentic and more helpful in an actual decision-making tool, right? So on these collection pages, what we're saying is, right now they're just a list of products and not very helpful. People can scroll through them and they can figure it out, but it gets really confusing really quickly. Like, all right, I want to see flea, right? I want to see flea stuff. And I click here, I can't sort by flea, right? So maybe I could search. Let's see what your search looks like. Flea. But now here, I don't know what's for cat and what's for dog, right? Our product type isn't as, there's some stuff there. But, search would be very important when your taxonomy isn't well defined, right? The only way I can find stuff and see all flea stuff is this way, then that's the way I'm going to do it. But you should have that in the browse experience also. So on these list of collection pages, right, this one here would be a list of collection pages. On dogs, right, the collars, harnesses, and leashes, that might also be a list of collection pages, right, because there's 596 products. So when I click on this link, I might not see the collection yet. I might see a collars, leashes, harnesses, and a collection link to see all also, right? Now, the next thing I'm looking at here is I'm not sure why. So there's nothing wrong with being able to get to the same product a couple different ways. Actually, it's a good thing a lot of times, right? But here, I'm not sure why you do a couple things. Like, why are pet steps and ramps? So I got dogs, I got cats, so that's by animal. And then I got birds over here, rabbits over here, chickens, which I'm not sure if they're even pets, and then small pets. So I got shot by animal, and then I got shot by product type. And it's not that intuitive, right? So I'm not sure if under dogs, all these items, I'm pretty confident that all of these products don't also exist, all of them don't also exist under these other categories here. So why is this being called out separately? Why is this one being called out separately? Why is this one being called out separately? And especially this one, right? Because I already have a dog bed right here, right? And this is going to be a trust thing for you, right? So I feel like, and this may not be true, but I feel like Snugglebugs is your brand because it's treated so specially, right? Now, if I scroll here, will I see Snugglebugs? Or do they only exist over here? Yeah, Snugglebugs is what it's called. Yeah, Snugglebugs don't exist over here. So if I search for dog beds, I don't get Snugglebugs showing up, right? And that's why I feel like, and like I said, it might not be true, but I feel like this is your own brand. It's getting its own special promotion kind of thing, right? And that makes me not trust you, even if it's not true, right? I just don't. They're favoring their own stuff, like. And then the service you're doing yourself, if someone goes to dog beds, you're not selling Snugglebugs in there, right? And, it might be that the Snugglebugs you consider them carriers and beds also, or something. We can show them in two different categories, but why this is called out separately is very confusing to me and makes me not trust you. Now, let me give you an example here of FLNB. So these guys sell all these products, right? And they also happen to own Mulberry Park as their own brand, and so is Heritage Park. But notice this list. We put it in alphabetical order, right? We did not favor their own brands in here because we wanted to, because we want the customer to feel like, even though they have their own brands, that they're putting the customer first, right? And they're not just promoting their own stuff. You know how Amazon, they promote their Amazon Basics everywhere, and you're like, I don't trust these guys. I still buy Amazon Basics, but I definitely don't trust Amazon. So this here feels weird to me. Now back to the other topic of, we've got by animal and then by product type, but feeding bowls doesn't show up here, so I don't know why this top level nav. It does not make sense to me. So that was something, if we ever had a conversation down the road, we would figure that out. Like, how do people shop? How do they start their shopping experience? What's a filter? What's a collection? All that kind of stuff. But there's a lack of consistency here, which just confuses people. And how am I supposed to know that mice and hamsters are small pets until I start looking through this kind of stuff, right? So you could have shop by animal, right? And that takes you to dogs, cats, rabbits, chickens, small animals, that kind of stuff, birds, and I wouldn't call it birds, cages, and carriers. I would call it birds, and then the only thing in it is the cagings and carriers, but just to shorten this thing, right? So we get rid of this more links type of stuff. But I could see a shop by animal top level that takes you to dogs, cats, birds, rabbits, chickens, small animals, and that would be another list. I can see a few layers of list of collection pages along with your nav, and then another, a couple different product types, which might be apparel, grooming, sleep or home, or cages, that kind of stuff, and think about different ways to do that kind of stuff. But I thinking that through is super important, right? One of the most important things on your website is your top level nav, and yours needs a lot of work. That's the nicest way I can say that. Which you probably get a lot of people searching because it's hard for them to find things. And there's nothing wrong with people searching, right? And I like the fact you have search front and center like that. Let's actually see what search looks like on mobile. I bet you most of your users are on mobile, like every. You got your search button there on mobile. Okay, that's good. All right, so I think that's enough on the collections, taxonomy, decision-making engine that you need to turn your site into with so many products. Let's now look at your evergreen pages. Let's go through a few of them. Search, home, about us. We talked about shipping policy. What I like to do, and that's straight from your policies, that's cool. What I like to do is I like to put the shipping policy in returns. I have to log in. Yeah, that sucks. So do you have a return? Yeah, so there's a return policy. Okay. So what I like to do in a lot of stores, let's see if we do it in this one here. I'm not sure. Yeah, so we have shipping and returns, and it's pulled straight from that same policy thing. It's a little bit of custom code I have to do to make that happen. But I like putting that information right on the product page also because it is so important, right? And you'll notice what we do here is we have product seals to trying to make things easy and clear to understand is always hard. So we made infographics for this brand. We did some videos. We put in some product seals. So the scent description for this one is fresh and strong, right? And we actually have a whole scent guide where we're helping people make a decision, right? Here's the different types of scents that there are. Here's the whole wheel of them. Which ones you like woody? Well, try the rainforest one. It is woody, that kind of thing. So it's hard to do, especially when you're using other people's products. These guys are making their own products. It's a little bit easier. But that's the type of stuff, right? Those infographics and those seals that help build that trust and confidence in the purchase experience. And another thing you're missing before I finish going through these is you don't have product reviews, right? And product reviews are useful for two reasons. And this is probably why you don't have product reviews right now. Reason number one, it shows that people buy from your store, right? So we go back to here, we go to this one here, right? 277 reviews for this product. They've sold a lot of them kind of thing, right? When you go to a store and they have no product reviews, or there's 4 of their products have a review and the other 500 don't, that's cause for concern. And my guess is you're a new brand and that's why you don't have product reviews, but product reviews are so important in decision making, and they help customers have confidence in the product, because a customer can say something about a product that you can't, right? They can say, this is the greatest thing ever, where you can't say that. So they'll say things about your products that you're not allowed to say, but customers can read them nonetheless and make decisions from that, which is just awesome. And I could totally see in your space, let's go here. Built this store last year, and we put in Judge Me is my favorite review app. We put in Judge Me, and we solicited photos for reviews. And what happened organically on this site is customers started posting their own pictures. So Rhino Power is it's a nutrition supplement for athletes, right? And mostly motocross and two-wheel sports. So the customer base organically on their own started posting photos, not of the product as much, although, there's the product here, but of them doing their sports, right? So here they are, they're out doing the sport. There's no product in that one at all, but he's just showing off that he can fly through the air with the greatest of ease kind of stuff, right? So, and this just lends so much credibility to the brand because they're targeting motocross sports people. And the review photos are not of the product, but they're of the people performing because they're using the product kind of thing, right? We couldn't ask for better use of reviews than these guys got completely organically. And they have hundreds and hundreds of them now. It's absolutely wonderful. So when we go into a product, right? I don't know how to get into the product from there. So let's just go into a product. Go down to the reviews. When you see the photos, it's of people out there doing the sport kind of thing. And that just helps the brand kind of thing. So, but the uber point is you absolutely need to have reviews in your store. I usually set it up so if there's no reviews for that product, we don't show the fact that there's no reviews. Right? We don't say 0 reviews. But reviews are going to be good for helping your customers make decisions because they'll see more information about products. And it's going to be good because it shows that people buy from you, right? A customer doesn't want to come to a store and feel like they're the first person to buy from that store. And your store kind of feels like that right now, right? So we're going through your evergreen pages. Policies is totally fine. Contact us. Here's a really great chance to talk about how you're American and show a Ohio address. Now, not everybody has a physical address that they want to show. So when that happens, what I do, this is a placeholder store. I just know I did this yesterday, so it should be up there. What I do, so what I do for these guys here is, they're in San Juan Capistrano. So I just put in, the location being, and I always like to show water so people can kind of figure out where they are. On this one here, I should probably zoom out 1 or 2 more like this, so they can see that they're in Southern California kind of thing. And I'll probably do that with the map. That's actually a much better view. And I'll change my map to show that. But show a map and show you in Ohio. Let's actually see if we have these guys here, what we did for theirs. Oh, they actually have a physical location, I think. Yeah, they have a warehouse. So, but we actually showed it kind of. And notice I zoomed out so you can see water. So you can see, they're in Minneapolis, over by the Great Lakes kind of thing. So on your contact page, the only point is I would show a map if you don't want to show an exact address so people can see you are an American company. It's super important. Privacy policy, terms of service, FAQ. Not a lot of FAQs, really hard to navigate, really hard to read them. There's very little differentiation between what payment do you accept, right? One of the things I do, let's see if we got it in these guys, see if they've got an FAQ. Yeah, we have this accordion function now. So we bucketize them, and then we have an accordion function. So you're just reading the question, and if you like the question, you can see the answer kind of thing. So that's a much easier to use. Your theme may not support that, though. And then, you do have reviews. Okay, so you got a review app. You've just got so few reviews, so you are hiding them. That's good. Let's see if I can see what that product looks like. But here, I don't see that review. So my guess is you're hiding it at the product level for everything where you want to show it for things that you do have a review for. And then if we look back at that reviews, let's see when the most recent one, 18 days ago, 3 months ago. Yeah, see, that's a negative also. Let's just go to these guys and look at their reviews. It's just a social proof thing, right? So the most recent review is the 13th, the 12th, the 9th, the 6th. So they haven't had a sale or a review in 5 days. But you can see here, how often they happen. Where if we go to Ortho, let's just look at their reviews. No, we don't have any there. Let's go to the home page. These guys are doing such volume. 715, 713. So, the reviews being recently is really important. So the fact you only have 3 reviews is kind of a negative, which which is why you're hiding it. And the fact that you haven't had one in 18 days, and before that was, 2.5 months before that, that's not good stuff. But, that's just a function where you're at, right? You've only got so much traffic coming in. You're not doing that many sales yet. And that's one of those things. It's a cart and a horse problem. So it's just a problem. You got it, but you have a review tool in place. That's great. You're collecting reviews. When you get enough, then you can start, publishing them more and all that good stuff. So I like that. And I'm gonna guess you're not using Klaviyo. I can't click on that. You're not using Klaviyo for email yet, which you absolutely should be doing. If you're not, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what you're using for. That's not ringing a bell for me, but whatever it is, right? And if you're using a different email tool, that's totally fine. But the point being, you want to be collecting email addresses, and you want to start, your Welcome Series email becomes your best branding tool, because you can tell that message, that story that we talked about before in better ways. Let me just go back. I want to see if I've gotten an email in my inbox yet. No, I haven't gotten an email from you yet. So that is that one. Now let's critique the home page and look at that. Oh, before we do that, let's go to your cart. So I want to add a product. Yeah, 724 products. It's even worse than the collar page. Yeah, and so in here, right, they're not in order. Right? Large, medium, small, extra large, extra small, double XL. Like, I've got to think and hunt and find looking for the one that I want, because they're not in order. It's a small nit point. Let's add that to the cart. So you just have the fly out cart. You don't have a cart page, whatever. Yeah. So you do have a cart page here. Okay, nothing special there. Nothing wrong. Let's go to your checkout. Yeah. So you don't have any brand colors on this page. I don't know if is that blue. Do you use that blue elsewhere on the site? I don't think so. I think it's purple and teal, right? Let's look at your contact page. Yeah, so when I go to checkout, right, I got all these purple buttons, and the only continuity I see here is this, right? Even the grays are different color grays. The buttons are different, so that's the consistency in branding, right, is really, really important. And let me show you. So Baja Style, as I mentioned, this is a store we're just building out right now, and we're working on branding. And the store is not launched, but I want to show you what I do. Right, is we define for stores, what the brand colors are going to be. Let me show you one that's even more evolved than that. Let's try SurCal. Oh, no, let's go to Giddy, because I just changed that one the other day. So in this one here, right, she had the logo already, right, and there's actually 4 colors in this gradient. And what I did is I grabbed those 4 colors and said, all right, we're going to start using those across the site, and I'm coming up with different shades. I'm not done with all the shades and tints yet, but I'll do up to 5 colors on or 5 shades and tints on a given color to do it for contrast, right? But then we just, we define the taxonomy, the colors, the imagery that we're going to use, and let me show it to you on the Jade Puma site. because I go a little bit farther on that one. Where, I even talk about the brand story, our tone, our mission, right? What our logos are going to look like. And here's our color palette. Here's green, the blue and orange that I use, or yellow, all the 5 shades and tints. Here's the color black we use. And then here's a little check that, these colors are all mapping up to these colors up here kind of thing. So then everything that I do will map to those colors. So if I go to my YouTube channel, let's go here. You'll see my cover images, right? They're using the same colors. Now, the Flex ones aren't, because I'm actually using the Flex themes from the Out of the Sandbox, the developer. I'm using their colors in that one. But you'll notice my different templates here, they use my brand colors throughout them. And that's that consistency thing that we're talking about, right? So defining your colors and all that good stuff. And then the point I'm bringing that up is when you do that, you'll apply that to your checkout. And then what you'll also do, let's go look at your reviews page, and you'll make sure that your review stars, right? I don't know if this teal is the same as this teal. If it is, looks like it's a little bit off, but it looks like you're trying to do it, right? So, but you just want to make sure that these colors map to your brand colors also. And then every app that you add, like whatever you're using for email and that kind of stuff, you make sure that they all follow those guidelines in your brand, so that's the consistency we're talking about. That's important, right? All right, so we were going to go do the home page. So a lot of people think of their home page as the front page or the front door to the website. And the reality is every page on a website is a door, right? If we're used to the brick and mortar analogy. So not everybody comes through your homepage. In fact, on a well-established store, like 30% of your traffic comes through the homepage, or less, right? It's all coming in through your collection pages, your landing pages, your product pages, and all that good stuff. So a lot of people think about this page being about merchandising to everybody instead of what it's meant to be, right? So one of the things you've done well is what every customer sees, right? Let's just go to a page here, is your header, right? Your header is your merchandising to everybody. So what I like is you've got below, you've got some content, and above you've got some content. Now, we could argue whether or not that's the best use of that much space and that kind of stuff. But what I like is you're promoting you're trying to promote and merchandise to your customers in a place that everybody sees. So I like that. All right. And let me just give you an example here with these guys. Right. We actually built this bar for them, and so they can merchandise to we're on a page, so everybody sees this, and we actually have it rotate if they want to have like true promotions, and they can change the color and that kind of stuff, because they've learned that the home page isn't how you merchandise to everybody. Not that the home page is not important; it's absolutely important, but it doesn't merchandise to everybody. Is the only point I want to make. So what you did well is you're merchandising everybody in your header. Now let's go back to your home page. I already talked about this and how I don't like shop clearance. Oh, by the way, on clearance, are these clearance items or are they sale items? Right? My guess is they're sale. So clearance to me means we're discontinuing this product and you're going to get a deep discount. Sale means, hey, we're having a temporary promotion, but these products will be around forever. And those are different topics, right? So if these are sale, I would change this text to sale, right? If they're clearance, that's great. Then you can leave them as clearance. Yeah, it even says clearance items are first come, first serve, but I would be surprised if you actually have 86 products you're getting rid of in your inventory. But if you are, then you are. That's totally fine. But I wouldn't be promoting clearance items here, right? So this, I fucking hate. Absolutely hate, right? Because it is shouting at me. Huge. It's just shouting at, like, it's huge. It's moving. Like, it grabs my attention. All I see right now is that thing. And the reason I hate that is, what makes you think I'm here to buy pet shirts today? Right? You're merchandising a very specific thing to everybody, and you're doing it in such a loud, obnoxious way. Right? Now this I love. Step aside Barbie, make way for the true beauty. Right? And the reason I love that is I think the Barbie movie just came out or is about to come out, right? It's very timely, right? I assume you didn't have this a year ago, and it shows you're smart, sophisticated, and on top of the times. And there's a breathing human body that was aware enough that the movie came out that they put this on the homepage, right? So it shows me there's a heartbeat at this store, right? And by the way, it's the first thing that showed me a heartbeat so far. Right? We'll talk about heartbeat more in a second. Now this, unnecessary, right? You assume a lot. Once again, you know nothing about me. I'm on the homepage. Why would you market this specific thing to me and this specific thing to me? And this, absolutely crazy, right? Because A, here I am. I have no idea what these things are at all, right? And then I scroll, and it's not intuitive. You can see this curved line right here? Right? That outline goes away up here, and it's not. So if there was an outline, a border that went around this that was also curved, I would see that this was associated with this, but that is not intuitive at all here, and way, way too large. I can't see the whole thing on the screen, right? Awful. Once again, this is wrong. There's no call to action here. There's no clarification. It's just not good merchandising. Same thing here. It's product specific, way too deep. So remember, decision-making engine. We're building a funnel here. So this is bottom of the funnel. This is, aspirational. This is way bottom of the funnel. This is bottom of the funnel. This is bottom of the funnel. You got to start people at the top. So what you want, right? Literally, just mimic your top level nav, right? Dogs, cats, grooming, pet apparel, pets, and you're going to change those things, by the way. But whatever they end up being, all you're going to do on your homepage is mimic those. I'll show you a real example of that. Let's go to FLNB. All right, go to the homepage. Bed, bath, table, decor. Bed, bath, table, decor, bedding essentials, which I don't think is up there. They put that there for some reason. And then laundry. Right? So they're just mimicking their top level nav, which is really useful, right? Because some people are visual, and on phone, right? A lot of people, the hamburger menu is really hard on phone, so having your nav mimicked on your homepage is great for mobile. All right. Same thing here. Product specific. There should be no products on your homepage, unless maybe a new product, maybe, but I doubt it for you. This image is way too tall, right? Let us help you take care of your pet. Our mission is to deliver the finest products at an incredible value while providing our award-winning service. Award-winning. That's awesome. Where's the award? Like if you've actually won an award, I would have that on your homepage, right? Best customer service award by, Ohio Chamber of Commerce or whatever. That's totally cool. Let's go to Bixby. And by the way, if you haven't won an award, don't say it. So here we have seals for these things owned, but she has an award winners. What did we do for award winners? Yeah, we used to promote her award winners on the homepage, and she took it off for whatever reason. But this here, right? So Allagash Beer Brittle, right? It was an award winner. And it's in the photo there that you saw. We actually put the little logo. These images are not the way I'd like them to work, but so this is not a perfect example. But here, award winner, we actually show the award and show an image kind of stuff. On some of them, we've actually got content down here that talks about the awards they've won. So if you're award winning, you should definitely show that, right? Award-winning service. We offer free shipping in the continental U.S. too. Looking for something specific, use our search and sort feature. Yeah, this says a lot of nothing, right? Or a lot of very different things, right? So what I thought this was going to be was more of this. You are making a difference. 10% of our store profits are donated to pet-related causes. Thank you, right? I thought this was going to be about that. So let's go back to this charitable thing. This sounds great. But its execution can be improved upon. See, I'm learning how to not be so much of a dick when I talk here. I'm saying it can be improved upon. And a couple real examples. 2 tactical things you can do here. The first one is donated to pet-related causes is way too ambiguous, right? What charity do you give to? What two charities do you give to? Say it, right? And let me know more, right? I can't click this and learn anymore. So what we just did the other day, because the 15th of July was National Reptile Day, or National Snake Day, I think. So what we did for these guys is World Snake Day, not National, it's World Snake Day, right? July 16th, World Snake Day. So we did a campaign, and it's over now. The campaign ended, I think, on Monday. We did a campaign, and what it was any of the profits during the 4 days of shopping, 100% of the profit, not revenue, 100% of the profits would be donated to USARK. So we were very specific about what the charity was, and we actually let them click and learn more about USARK if they wanted to, right? So we gave them a page of information about it, right? And you could do the same thing where you could have a call to action here. I could click and see it, and then I could. And I'm not saying you have to do the 100% profit thing, by the way, right? Because as you well know, that was just a 4-day thing for them. 10% for you is more than generous, right? But I would be specific about what the charities are, right? So people, because that just gives it more authenticity. I believe you more when you're more specific, right? It's like that. Oh yeah, my girlfriend from Canada, right? Anybody with a girlfriend from Canada doesn't have a girlfriend. We all know that joke. And this is like, oh yeah, my pet-related causes. Yeah, sure, just like my girlfriend from Canada. That's the sense I get from that, right? So just make it more real by actually saying what it is, and maybe having a page with some details. So I thought that this was going to be about that, but this is just fluff for no purpose at all. Right? Popular collections, this will be replaced by the top-level collection, so they start at the top of the funnel, right, kind of thing. Now, you have helpful articles, so you have blog articles, but the only way I can get to them is from the homepage, right? Now, I'm not a big fan of promoting blog content because on your website. Blog content is meant to drive traffic to your website, not engage users on the website. That said, there are times where I do that, and I'll show you an example of that. But then I also show a blog link down here, right? So an example of where we actually do promote blog articles, right? Let's go into the Kodiak here, into this product. And we're going to scroll down and see if we have one on this page. Oh, there isn't one on this page. So let's go to the DonJoy. Oh, we took them off. Okay. I'm going to try one more. Let's just try this. Oh, we put it at the collection level, not at the product level. So here, and this is a module I had to build, right? We just don't show the 3 most recent blog articles. We have a little tool that lets them pick. So cryotherapy, best cold therapy, is Breg cold therapy. So these articles are very applicable to the topic that we're on. And we did it at the collection level because at the product level, they should have more confidence. We don't want to distract them. But if they're confused at this level, we let them learn more there, right? Because there's a lot of education that needs to be done. And we even here, I think we have a resources tab because this site does so much work on educating customers. So, for example, if you had a blog article about how to pick the best, or how to size the best, how to best size a leash for your dog, right? That might be something you would put on the leashes collection page, kind of thing. But I don't know how much content you have here. Let's see. Let's go back. 3 pages worth, going back to February 25th. Oh, I'm going to guess you're a new store this year. How do I choose the best dog for my home? Yeah, so this one here. So I have one client, Fit My Foot, and like 90% of their traffic is a complete and utter waste of time to their website. Because they've been around for like 15 years, and I don't even know if they have it up anymore. I haven't looked at the site in a while, but let's see if they have their blog. Yeah, and their blog had a lot of content that wasn't about feet, right? So we're just going to go back in time. So they have these arches for your feet, right? So everything here should be about feet, right? Instead, they got things like 8 laws of lifting better, right? or the 8 of the most extreme trails in North America. If a search user comes into this content, they're not buying orthotics today, tomorrow, or anytime in the near future. Like, this content is way too far away from their product. You can be a couple steps away, but you don't want to be too far away, right? What you want is every blog article you have, there should be a natural engagement into your site. Literally from this one here, if they're selling orthotics, right? So you can see what we did. I put on the bottom of every blog article, I did a little shipping module, right? Or a shopping module, insole sandals kind of thing. But that's on every product, right? There's no natural tie-in from this down to this. It's just artificial. So it's not going to convert. And so their website, their Google Analytics stats, they show this, 40,000 visitors a month, but only like 800, and I'm picking these numbers out of the air, 800 visitors a month are seeing a product page, right? Because a lot of the search traffic's coming in to blog articles that are not related at all to what they do, right? So leading up to this, right? How to choose the best dog for my home, probably not content you need to be focused on right now. If I was you, what I would be doing, right, is this is great. If you have products that help cats from stop scratching, fabulous, right? But if you do, see, this should have links into your website. You should be showing products and linking into your website, into the products you're selling, right? And it's endless the amount of content you can do about that, right? Should I buy a bunny as an Easter gift? I wouldn't do. I would do I got a bunny for Easter. How do I take care of it, right? Kind of thing, and then show all the bunny products you got. So there's plenty you can do with that kind of stuff. It looks like you're all pet focused, but you might want to think about how you're going to tie them into shopping. Because once again, the reason for blog articles is for SEO. You want people searching for Irish Setter on the internet, and they land on your website, and then they see, oh, Irish Setters love chasing balls, right? Well, here's all the balls that you can throw that we sell in our store, right? Or they're easy to train. Here's all this stuff should be pointing into your website, showing collections or products or all sorts of stuff. And that's a bunch of work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard, but that's when this stuff is useful. But if that's the case, right? We're going back to Better Pets Today. The only reason I would show blog content here is to show the heartbeat, and I think you're dedicating too much time with this funky little weird dual scroll thing to that. But at least there's a heartbeat. I can see that there was store staff posting an article on July 6th, right? So 12 days ago kind of thing. So the heartbeat is this one and the Barbie. So what you still need is more heartbeats, right? So let's look at your Instagram and see the last time you posted was 4 days ago. So this could also be a heartbeat, right? So you could add an Instagram module. Let's see if we have that on Spiral. I doubt we do. I doubt they have Instagram. No, but let's go to see if these guys are doing Instagram. Yeah, so having an Instagram feed on your homepage, because it's content that's going to refresh, and then people can see that, oh, they posted something. It's another heartbeat, right? So if you're doing Instagram, I would definitely add Instagram feed to your homepage. Now you have 49 followers. So, you got to do that whole follow 1,000 people and follow 1,000 people where it makes sense to follow them, you think. And then from that 1,000, you'll get, 200 followers, and then unfollow the 800 that didn't follow you, right? Because you don't want to have 200 followers, but you're following 1,000, right? So you got to balance that out. But you got to bring these numbers up a little bit. Start giving yourself a little more street cred, right? And then, these other videos. And then the cool thing is, on an Instagram feed, you can just throw in photos of cute pets also. It doesn't have to just be products, right? And that could be the way that you start, getting followers, is you actually post cute pet stuff all the time, wherever you get that content from. And then every once in a while, you throw in a product. But it doesn't have to be just, it doesn't have to be just a product feed like it is right now. I'll show you a real example. another business of mine. This is a new Airbnb that I started out. And what I'm doing here on the Instagram is, showing photos and every once in a while just throwing in a review kind of thing, right? And now I actually literally have a content creator at my house right now, shooting video for Instagram kind of stuff to start building a following and tapping into her supply. There's, building up your following on Instagram is long and hard, but it's just another one of those things you got to do. But because everybody loves cute pets, make sure that your Instagram feed is showing cute pets way more than products kind of thing. You can totally do the products. You just want to do both. And then once you get a following there, you can actually start selling inside of Shopify or inside of Instagram directly, and that can be really powerful. I've got some clients that are doing that kind of stuff. All right, so that is a long diet. We've been going on for an hour and 45 minutes. You're probably turn this off by now. If you're still listening, congrats. So the summary, back to the beginning, and after doing this much time, it's still the same answer. You need brand, and you need a decision-making engine, right? Those are the first two things that I would work on. And there's a lot of bullet points underneath those. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know what you think, if it is or is not helpful, and reach out to me if you want to get more information from me. Happy to talk. All right, thanks a lot.